First things up, Huma Abedin, and Huma Abedin, many of you may know, and if you don't, I'll update you. Huma Abedin is the top aide, very likely the chief of staff for the future chief of staff for Hillary Clinton. She has split today with her husband, Anthony Weiner, who already has the most unfortunate last name, particularly in context of what's happened to Huma, Miss Abedin. If you remember around 2010, 2011, Anthony Weiner got into trouble for texting or sexting pictures of his penis to women on Twitter. And that event really scuttled his political career. And he had to step off of the national stage. He was a representative for, I believe, the 9th district in New York for U.S. representative. So he had a very prominent position. He was married to a very powerful woman who was working for possibly the most powerful woman in the world eventually. And his proclivities got the best of him. So he has had 6 years of working on this with his wife, trying to restore the marriage, trying to put it back together. And last night it was reported, or it not just reported, but pictures have come out again of him doing the same exact thing, this time even worse, because he had his son in the picture in the background while he was taking pictures of him in his underwear, very lewd pictures that he was sending online. Now, listen, this probably would not be a story at all if it was not for Huma, for Weiner in his own right? He was an elected official. He had a lot of scandal. He had to step down, but he was married to Huma Abedin, who is going to very likely be the chief of staff for Hillary Clinton. The only other person that I could think would be the chief of staff besides Huma would be Neera Tanden of the Center for American Progress. But most likely, I believe it's going to be Huma. And so this is a very, it's bad enough as it is. Everything else that I've said is bad. But the sad irony on top of this is that he was sexting a Donald Trump supporter. Now, the sad thing about this is that you have to be insanely obtuse. I'm going to say it as nice as I can, but you have to be insanely obtuse to not think that you sharing images with someone who supports your wife's boss on a national stage would not get out. You also have to have serious problems to do this with your child in the room. And it appears that this compulsion by Weiner is so strong that he couldn't get away from it. So that's pretty much the breadth and depth of the story. Donald Trump actually weighed in, saying about how, I don't know why he weighed in, but he weighed in, as he always has to do, apparently, how horrible of a situation this is for Huma. But he tried to tie this to Hillary Clinton's inability to, being irresponsible, because Huma undoubtedly had access to top secret information or confidential information. And that means that Weiner had access to that information as well. And so he's trying to make it seem as though this somehow makes Hillary Clinton culpable, which is a stretch at best. But that's the whole story. So Anthony Weiner, he was trying to make a political comeback, but I believe that is it. That should be all we hear of Anthony Weiner.